Hello, Dr. Caps. Ready for some penny chemistry. I'll start with everything here. I have all my supplies. I have white vinegar, which is our acid. So white vinegar is diluted acetic acid. And we're going to measure, I'm going to do a half batch, so I'll do 1/8 of a cup of vinegar. And of course, nothing but the very best in pink Himalayan salt, which actually gives a little bit of a pink tint to the water, but that doesn't matter. Half a teaspoon, and I have to stir it up till it's dissolved. So we have pennies here, and the goal is going to be to clean them off, and we'll see if we can steal some copper and put it on these nuts here. I guess you probably can't see the nuts. There they are. So we have to stir this until it dissolves. And on the penny, we have copper oxide. That's basically the tarnish that's on there. And in solution, we have our acetic acid diluted with water. And now we have sodium chloride in there, which is going to break apart into its ions. I have that shown in the next little slide. We haven't put the pennies in yet, but this is what's going to happen. We have our acetic acid has become acetate and hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions. We have our sodium and chloride have dissociated into its constituent ions. And we're very soon going to have our copper ions. I'd say this is good enough. We can put in our pennies. I tried to pick pretty dirty ones. There weren't too many dirty ones available, but these are pretty dirty. Flop them in. Ooh, they're getting cleaner already. Awesome. So pull this back up actually. Copper ions are coming into solution. And yep, there's everything in there. And once we take these out, they're pretty clean. Oh, you know what I forgot is a paper towel. I'll use the back of this. They're pretty clean. And once we take them out, we can either rinse them off, which would stop the reaction, or we can do what I'm doing here, and that's just to take them out as is, which starts another chemical reaction, which is this guy. This is what happens in the air. So now we have our acetic acid still stuck on there, but now we have oxygen, O2, that can react with it, and our copper ions, and that's going to form, it's going to react to produce copper carbonate and some hydrogen ions, or sorry, H2, hydrogen gas. And the copper carbonate, which I believe is also called malachite, is what creates this green stuff. I did this morning because I wanted to make sure I would have time for some fun green stuff happening. And that is what I got. I think they're pretty cool looking. I also wanted to see what would happen if I put one back in to the solution. See if the green would come off. Looks like it is. That's cool. I love chemistry. Okay, now the last thing we're going to try is to see who's going to win the competition over electrons. So in solution, we still have our acetate, we have our hydrogen ions, we have our hydroxide ions, we have our sodium, where is it? There it is, our sodium and our chloride. But the two that are going to be really key that are going to be fighting over electrons is the copper and what's going to be iron. We don't have the iron in yet, but I'm about to add it. And sure enough, this penny did clean right off. One of the ones I had done this morning. That's cool. Okay, we're about to add these nuts, which have some iron in them. So, hypothetically, when you put them in, the copper ions that are in solution these guys right here, will be fighting for electrons. So we have I wrote here Fe plus, which is the iron ion, but when it's on the nut, it's actually just iron. It has all its electrons. It's very happy and satisfied. However, copper is lower on the activity series. It has a higher need for electrons. And so when we put the copper, or when we put the iron in with the copper is going to snag and grab all of the electrons that were making this iron so happy. And so now I can see a little bit of darkening. Hypothetically, we should have some copper going on there, and now we actually have the iron ions in solution because the copper stole the electrons, basically, is what happened. So there you have it. These didn't get as dark as I was hoping, but anyway, we did get some very cool looking pennies. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend, Dr. Caps.